The cybersecurity company behind this software bug is called CrowdStrike. It's based down in Austin, Texas, and its anti-cyber attack software is integrated directly into Microsoft Windows, which is used by many airlines, hospitals, banks, and perhaps wherever you work as well. So, how exactly did it cause a global technology outage? Well, it sent out an update last night, which included an issue in the code that disrupted Microsoft Windows. This essentially broke any computer running on that operating system. Millions of users got stuck in a loop of reboot after reboot, or they were faced with the so-called blue screen of death. Two on Your Side has live team coverage for you tonight. Our Alyssa Clausell and Lance Mellon are both standing by with a look at the travel impacts of the outage today, but we're going to begin with our Ron Plants to explain more about how this exactly happened and what happened. Ron?
Scott, okay, definitely. I'm not a computer guy, but I talked and listened to some really smart information technology or IT specialists today to try to figure out what was really going on here. But again, why this was so widespread in our technology dependent world that we now live in, and how they tried to get everything affected back online. First off, this computer security system software problem, again, that caused this in the pre-dawn hours, deeply integrated into the large industrial size servers. So according to CNBC, for any affected business or organization, the fix or workaround, well, in some cases, engineers had to go into each individual data center running the Windows platform and then find the specific CrowdStrike file, delete it, and then reboot. Got it? Sometimes manually if for heavily encrypted files. Very complex work. But while it's been a pain, just like anybody who had to deal with that AT&T cell phone outage last February, which was also a software glitch, well, there may be some long-term benefit here.
I think I quoted this last time to you, Ron, a Winston Churchill quote where he said, never let a good crisis go to waste. Let's do that. Let's, after the dust is settled from this, let's talk about the things that happened and how we responded and how that could have been better. Because I think these small little wake-up calls actually can serve to help us prepare for hopefully what doesn't happen, but some type of large global cyber attack later on in life.
All right, again, this was not a cyber attack, but hackers unfortunately watch and learn from incidents like this, especially when a cybersecurity system has a problem. Professor Cleary at UB says this is also why those sometimes frustrating updates and patches set up by the IT guys and gals on our work computers and laptops may really help in these situations, because there's bound to be bad lines of code in all those programs we depend upon to run our computers. All right, Scott, you got all that. By the way, a big shout out to our IT and production people today. They rocked it to keep us on air.
Yeah, they all came in around 1 o'clock in the morning, and they've been here all day long. They are rock stars, that's for sure. Ron, thank you very much for that report. Now, as we mentioned, most major airlines, they were impacted during the outage. Some flights were actually grounded, others were delayed and canceled altogether. This is a map here. Kind of gives you a good idea here of this morning's flight traffic, which you can see actually slowed down quite a bit. So the question tonight is, how are things looking right now at the airports? Two on Your Side's Alyssa Clausell is live at our airport. She spent the day talking to travelers. Hello, Alyssa.
Hey Scott, take a look behind me. You can see it's pretty much business as usual here at Buffalo Niagara. Lines are not too long, but the biggest impact here for travelers is the domino effect that global shortage has had on travelers. Now, we were in the thick of it this morning as the global outage was occurring, and travelers in the Buffalo area experienced a handful of delays and cancellations due to ground stops put in place for American, Delta, and United. While those ground stops have since been lifted and most flights are on time, we heard from travelers today who were impacted not only by air travel, but on the ground as well.
It was just bumper to bumper all the way to the bridge. And then when we were cleared the border, then we realized that the highway is closed. So we detoured, and by the time I get here, I missed my flight.
Yep, that lasting impact of the outage playing out in the air and on the ground. And now, while things are up and running at Buffalo Niagara, the NFTA advises travelers to check flight statuses online before heading to the airport, as this does impact destinations globally and nationally. We'll likely be seeing the effects of this outage all day. Now, I can tell you that the good news is that the majority of delays and cancellations, at least here at Buffalo Niagara, seem to be behind us, but we'll keep an eye out for that status. On live and on your side at Buffalo Niagara Airport, Alyssa Clausel, Channel 2 News.